Welcome to our lesson today. I'm Madam Nyongesa, and the topic today is pronouns. And when I say pronouns, many people think pronouns or topics under pronoun are easy. Questions under pronoun are easy. In real sense, questions under pronouns are the hardest questions in a grammar paper. Now, when we talk of pronouns, first we are going to define what a pronoun is. So, a pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun. Why do we use pronouns in a sentence? Or why are pronouns important? Pronouns are important in that it makes our writing and speaking flow smoothly. Now, if I say it makes our writing and our speaking flow smoothly, what I mean is pronouns help us not repeat nouns in a sentence. Example, look at my sentence. Kamau is a farmer. Kamau is a farmer, comma. His boots, Kamau is a farmer, comma. Kamau's boots are torn. Kamau's boots are torn. Kamau in my sentence. So instead of repeating Kamau in my sentence, I can introduce a pronoun. I'm going to say Kamau is a farmer. Kamau is a farmer, comma. His boots are torn. Kamau is a farmer. His boots are torn. You realize that in my sentence, instead of the second Kamau, I'm having his, which is a pronoun. Now, that brings us to examples of pronoun. Examples of pronouns. Pronouns, number one, we can have he. We talked of his. We can have them. We can have she. We can have you, me. We can have it. We can have they. We can have we. Examples of pronoun, we can have us. We can have our. We can have your. Now, pronouns are further subdivided according to gender and persons and class and persons. Example is, if I say gender, female, those ones that refer to female, and those ones that refer to male. So we can have gender, pronouns subdivided according to gender. We can have male, and then we can have female. If we come to male and female, we have he, we have him, we have his. Female, we have she, we have her, we have hers. But some pronouns are unanimous. They can be used with male and they can be with female. We can have our, this one is also our. We can have you, this one is also you. We can have they, this one is also they. This one is also they. Because our, you, and they are pronouns and they are used unanimously. Like they are not gender sensitive. You have, they can be used with female and then they can be used with male. Now, if we say classes of pronouns, those ones that are divided according to person, we have those pronouns that are for first person. If I say the first person is the person speaking. So we have those pronouns that are divided according to the first person, and if I say the first person, this is the person speaking. This is the person speaking. This is the person speaking. These pronouns are like I, my, me, us, our. You have I, my, me, us, our, which is first person, the person speaking. Example in a sentence. I am going to say, I am writing myself. So I'm going to say, I am writing. The person speaking, the person speaking. I is a pronoun. I'm going to say, my pen is lost. My pen is lost. So I'm having my pen is lost, which is what? My pen is lost. My is a pronoun. I'm going to have me, you are going to have us, you are going to have our books. Our books are torn. So that is first person, the person speaking. Second person, the person spoken to. So if you come to the second person, I said pronouns can be divided according to gender or according to persons. Now, if you come to the second person according to pronouns, so if we have the second person according to pronouns, second person according to pronouns, the second person is the person spoken to. Second person is the person spoken to. Now, in second person spoken to, you can have you, you can have your, and then you can have yours. So you can have you can have your, and then you can have yours, a person spoken to. And then we have the third person according to pronouns, third person. And this third person is the person spoken of. Person spoken of. Person spoken of. First person, person speaking. Second person, person spoken to. Third person, the person spoken of. Now, I'm going to say a person spoken to example, they. You can have she, you can have he, you can have her, him. Yes, you can have the it, you can have his. Those are third person, examples of third person pronouns. A person spoken of. Now, let's go to an example in a sentence and let's see a person spoken to, a person speaking, and a person spoken of. I'm going to say in a sentence, I was telling you about him. Now, you have I, you have you, and you have him in the same sentence. I, first person, you, second person, him, third person. Now, you are having I, first person. I say when you come to the first person, this is the person speaking. I am, the way I am speaking right now. Talks about yourself. Second person, this is the person you spoke to. Third person, this is the person you spoke of. Now, like the third person is the topic in your what? In your sentence. Now, I was telling you about him. I, first person, you, second person, him, third person. Now, I was telling you is receiving the action. You is receiving the action. So you is the second person spoken to. Is the person spoken to. And then him is the third person, a person spoken of. Now, or speaking of. Now, I was telling you about him. You have I, first person, you, second person, him, third person. So when I say first person is the person speaking, second person is the person you spoke to, and then third person is the person you are speaking of. This is what I mean. I was telling you about him. I, first person, the person speaking, you, the person listening, and him, the person I and you talked about or spoke of. So if I say the first person is the person you're speaking to, the second person is the person you are speaking, the first person is the person speaking, the second person is this person you are speaking to, and the third person is the person you spoke of. That's what I mean. I and you spoke of him. I spoke to you. So you is the person spoken to, I is the person speaking, and him is the what? Is the person that was talked about or spoke of in a sentence. Makes him the third person. So if we have that, I hope people can understand that when we are talking about pronouns, we can divide them according to gender, which I know everybody, nearly all of you know, but we can also divide them according to persons. Whether it's for classes, we can have first person, class, second person, and then we can have third person pronouns. First person, person speaking, second person is the person spoken to, and then third person is the person that you speak to, you spoke of. This brings us to types of pronouns. So this brings us to types of pronouns. I'm going to talk about 4 types of pronouns. So I have types of pronouns. Types of pronoun, number 1, personal. Number 1 is personal pronouns. Then we have number 2, possessive pronouns. Number 3, we have relative pronouns. Number 4, we have reflexive pronouns. So today, let me deal with personal pronouns. Let's deal with personal pronouns in our lesson. Let's go and deal with personal pronouns. Pronoun type number 1. So we are going to deal with personal pronouns. Now, we said, what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun in a sentence. Why are we going to use pronouns in a sentence? Because it makes our writing and our speaking flow smoothly. It enables us not to repeat nouns in a sentence. If you say Kamau went to the shamba, Kamau's boots were torn. Instead of saying Kamau, you can say Kamau went to the shamba and his boots were torn. It makes your speaking or your writing flow smoothly because it enables you not to repeat words in a sentence. Now, personal pronouns replace other pronouns. Replace other pronouns or names of people or things in a sentence. Names of people or things in a sentence. Now, when we talk of personal pronouns, we have those that are used in place of nouns or other pronouns. It refers to a person or a thing in a sentence. Now, personal pronouns are further subdivided into 2 groups: nominative pronouns and objective personal pronouns. Now you have it replaces other pronouns, or it refers to a person or a thing in a sentence. Refers to a person or a thing in a sentence. Personal pronouns are doers of the action. Now, when we come to these personal pronouns, they are further subdivided into 2 groups: nominative personal pronouns and subjective personal pronouns. So we have 2 types of personal pronouns. Number 1 is what we call nominative personal pronouns, and then number 2 is what we call objective personal pronouns. Now, if someone's going to ask you the nominative personal pronoun and objective personal pronoun, it's very important that a child in class 8 knows when to use nominative pronouns in a sentence and when to use subjective pronouns in a personal pronouns in in a sentence. Because trust me, if you don't know, you are not going to come up with the correct answer if it's asked in an exam. So personal pronouns replace other pronouns in a sentence. Person or thing in a sentence. Personal pronouns are further subdivided into two groups: nominative and objective. First, you have types of pronouns: personal, possessive, relative, reflexive. Let's deal with personal pronouns. Personal pronouns replace other pronouns or a thing or person in a sentence. They are further subdivided into two groups: nominative and objective pronouns in a sentence. Now, when we say nominative pronouns in a sentence, nominative pronouns are the doers of the action. Nominative pronouns are doers of the action, or rather we say they are the subject in the sentence. They are the subject in a sentence. So you are having nominative pronouns, and then you are going to have objective pronouns. Objective pronouns. So nominative pronouns, like I've said, nominative pronouns are the doers of the action, or we can say nominative pronouns are what the sentence is about. Doers of the action. Example is he, I, they, he, I, they, we, he, I, they, we, it, you, she. You, it, he, I, they, we, it, you. Second person is him. You can have me. Then you are going to have them. You can have her. You can also have it can be third person, first person can be second person. You can have you, him, me, them, her, it, and you. Or you can also have first nominative, he, I, they, we, it, you, and she. Now, when we come to nominative pronouns are what the doers of the action. This is simple. If you want to know if the subject you are going to use is a nominative or is an objective in your question, if they ask you a question about it, then you just have to know that the nominative pronoun does something. Example, you can say, he gave me the book. He gave me the book. He gave me the book. He is the nominative pronoun, and me is the objective pronoun. Why? The objective pronoun is the receiver of an action in a sentence. The objective pronoun is the receiver of an action in a sentence. He is the nominative pronoun, which is the doer of an action. It is simple. If you want to know if it is a nominative pronoun or it is an objective pronoun, what you have to do is remember a nominative pronoun does the action, while an objective pronoun receives the action. Now, he gave me the book. He gave me the book. He, what is the action in a sentence? When I'm talking about subject-verb agreement, I say an action is a verb in a sentence. So you say, he gave me the book. Gave is the action. He, who is the doer of the action? The he. Who is the receiver of the action? The me. Now, he becomes the nominative, and he becomes the nominative, and me becomes the objective. Why? Nominative pronouns are doers of the action, and objective pronouns are the receivers of the action. Now, let's talk about how to use nominative pronouns or objective pronouns in a sentence. I have here an example of question. Dash and dash went shopping. 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 Now, for you to come up with the correct pronouns to fill the blank space, you must know the following. When comparing, when it comes to nominative and objective pronouns, this is how we are going to use them in a sentence. Dash and dash went shopping. Now, they have given you examples of answers, like A, they say him and me, and then B, they say him and I, him I. And then C, what do they have for you? Me and he. Me, he. And then D, they've given you he and I. He, I. So you have he and I. For you to be able to come up with the correct answer to this question, you must know the following. When comparing, use nominative pronouns. When comparing, use nominative pronouns. And we've talked of comparison of adjectives. So when I say comparing, you know it's the ER form of the adjective. Now, we have a nominative pronoun or an objective pronoun in a sentence. You're supposed to know how to do it. To know that the following. One, when you are comparing, use nominative pronouns. When you are comparing, use nominative pronouns. When comparing, use nominative pronouns. Example, she is happier. Example in a sentence, you are going to say she is happier. She is happier. ER form of the adjective. She is happier than I. When you are comparing, use nominative. When you are comparing, use nominative what? Nominative pronouns. Because she is happier than I. She is happier than I. She is nominative. I is nominative. Are you getting that? So when you are comparing, use nominative pronoun. Use nominative pronouns. Now, rule number two of when to know how to use if you want to know how to use nominative or what we call objective pronouns in a sentence, this is what you have to do. Two subjects. When you have two subjects, and if I say two subjects, what do we mean? Doers of an action, then you have also to use nominative. You have to use what? Nominative. This brings me to my question. Two subjects, when you have two subjects in a sentence, what are the subjects? The doers of the action. So you can say, she and I went to church. She and I went to church. That's an example in a sentence. Two subjects in a sentence, use the nominative pronoun. She and I went to church. Now, if I am having two subjects, I'm using nominative. When I'm comparing, I'm using nominative pronoun. So when you're also having two subjects, use nominative pronoun, use a nominative pronoun. When you are comparing, use a nominative pronoun. She and I went shopping. If you want to know if your answer is correct, construct sentences using one pronoun at a time. So I'm going to say, she went to church. She went to church. And I'm also going to say, I went to church. I went to church. My first sentence is correct. My second sentence is correct. Now, this brings us to the question we have. Dash and dash went shopping. Dash and dash went shopping. Now, you're having him, me. Him went shopping. Construct sentences using one of the pronouns at a time. Him went shopping. Me went shopping. Him went shopping. Is he doing an action? Is that sentence correct? No, grammatically. Me went shopping. Your sentence is wrong. Him, we already eliminated that. You can say, I went shopping. I went shopping. Which means I is nominative. It is the doer of the action. When you are given two subjects, use the nominative pronoun. So you are going to say, I went shopping, it is correct. But him went shopping, wrong. So we eliminate A, and then we eliminate A and B. Then I'm having, me went shopping. You can't use me when me as the doer of the action. So we eliminate me. But he went shopping. He, nominative. The sentence is correct. But since it is paired with he, since it is paired with me, then the answer is wrong. You remain with he and I. Now you can say, he went shopping, I went shopping. He went shopping. I went shopping. Construct the sentences using one pronoun at a time. So you have, he went shopping, I went shopping. Your answer becomes correct. You are going to say, he and I went shopping. A mistake many pupils or many pupils do. He and me went shopping. Most of pupils will have, he and me went shopping. Now, me is the objective. It receives an action. I is nominative. It is the doer of the action, So when you are comparing, use nominative. And when you have two subjects, also use nominative. Subjects, doers of the action in a sentence. Use nominative pronouns. That means you must know examples of nominative pronouns, and you must also know examples of objective pronouns. When you have been given a question like this, dash and dash went shopping, and you've been given nominative and then they are mixed with objective, what you have to do is construct sentences using each of the pronouns at a time. So he and I went shopping. Two subjects in a sentence, always use a nominative pronoun. The last one is after a preposition number 3, after a preposition, use objective pronouns. After a preposition, use objective pronouns. After a preposition, use objective pronouns. Examples of objective of preposition: between, from. You can have between. You can have from. You can have on. What are prepositions? What that shows the relationship between a noun and a place. So you have between, from, and on. After a preposition, always use an objective pronoun. Example in a sentence. The secret. Example in a sentence. The secret is between. The secret is between you and me. The secret is between you and me. The secret is between you and me. You and the pronoun is what? Between. The pronoun is what? Between. Don't use nominative pronouns after prepositions. In class 8, you must know examples of prepositions. Between, from, on. Are you getting that? So you say between, from, on. Any moment you see a preposition, follow it with an objective pronoun. The secret is between you and me, especially between. Me is used after between. Any moment you see between, just know one of the answers must be me. So you have the secret is between you and me. Objective pronouns. Now, I'm going to leave some of the questions. Then you people are supposed to try the questions and make sure you message me the answer. You send the answers to me. I want you to listen to the YouTube video. Make small notes. Make some summary notes. The problem is most of you do not make summary notes. And this is very crucial when it comes to the exam. Not only when it comes to the exam, it is very crucial when you are writing your composition. Trust me, I know how most of you write your compositions. Know when to use a nominative pronoun, and then know when to use an objective personal pronoun in a sentence. Thank you.